My guest today is making his second appearance on the podcast. He's a stand-up comedian from Tacoma. His album debuted on iTunes, titled "Needless to Say." Was it number one on iTunes
it was
or whatever?
Number one for a week.
Yeah,
dude.
Welcome back, Josh Firestine.
Thank you.
Stein.
God,
Yeah.
well, it was 6 days. It wasn't a week, but I tell people it's a week. I lie is what I do. I tell, it was a whole week. It was 6 days, and then Weird Al caught back up. So. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jewish stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I'm only Jewish 6 days a week on the Sabbath. I'm Christian.
Yeah. I thought. Wait, Hanukkah's how many days?
It's 7.
We should probably hold on just for audio.
It's 8. Sorry,
8
it's
days?
8 days, 8 crazy nights, right?
Yeah, 8 crazy nights.
8.
Are you
8
Jewish?
Nights. No,
Oh,
but I can answer a lot of questions. I know a lot about their culture. Dude, those are some 8 handlebars. That was sick.
That was.
I wish the viewers could see that. That guy, he's broken down. He's probably not broken down. He's probably just tired from holding his arms up all night.
Dude. I've never understood why you would want to do that. Just all the blood would just go out of your arm.
And it's like you shake too, like on a Harley. It kind of has like that rumble to it.
It's a weird. Wait, straight here?
Yeah, you want to get over. It's fine. You can stay here. It's fine.
It's the safety. This is the safety podcast, by the way.
This is a weird on ramp where like you could, like
you
Tacoma
could
design is really shitty. Yeah, you could have stayed there and been fine. And this is Adam Tiller's new podcast. It's called Driving Traffic with Josh Firestine.
Yeah.
And now
we're good.
Let's take it to the chopper. How you doing, Chopper Chad?
Goddamn.
I was thinking about that in the Army when because I wanted to be a pilot, and I was like, well, all the jobs I can do when I get out as a pilot are like, it's endless possibilities. You know, I could fly privately. I could be like the news chopper guy, and you know what a career change that is.
Up to Josh flying. Up there.
Yeah. Up to fucking crazy Josh, and I'm like, there's Charlie everywhere.
We're just asking about traffic.
And Josh is in Chinatown again. He's gone off the rails. He's might not put this headset back on. And a drive to deep left.
So funny, dude. Well, hey, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. If you have a question or comment about what we're doing right now in this car, throw it in there. Shout out to Arden, who keeps throwing a bunch of love our way with the comments. And then if you are watching us, if you can subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/FNFpod. Appreciate it a lot. We're losing subs. We need love.
That's why you brought me in. I'm the ringer, baby.
Somehow it's getting worse over time. So
is that true?
I mean, there was. Yeah, I'll tell you.
I don't mean to laugh at your failure.
No. Okay. I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Off air, not for you guys. Subscribe to the Patreon. You'll see.
So we're Post Falls bound right now.
Idaho bound.
I talked to Phil Kobzinski yesterday about this gig, and he said it's in the back of a vape shop.
No, it's called the draft zone. I would assume that means that they pour drafts.
Yeah, but he said it's in a strip mall.
Interesting.
In the back of a vape shop, and the guy that he was telling me that the guy that owns the vape shop, the whole federal banning of flavored vapes happened.
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck in Idaho.
Yeah,
huh?
they refuse to enforce it in Idaho. So this guy's right on the border. So he gets the cheapest vape juice possible, and then has just the market cornered.
Oh
all
man,
these people coming.
Big markups for Spokane vape douches.
Yeah, and he feels they're definitely selling to minors too. It's.
Yeah, this shop definitely doesn't. They don't do background checks on their guns either. They sell guns also.
Do they? Is it? Oh Jesus! What is going on right here?
Oh, that guy does not look stable.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit! I'm gonna record my phone. You can put this on your thing later.
This is the sketchy. One of his tires.
Wibble wobbling, dude. Wibble wobble, wibble wobble. Yeah, it's probably doesn't want me recording him, but.
Yeah, something. Oh, it's these grates.
Oh, you think
I think
cracks in the concrete? Maybe he's just got a little wiggle to him, dude. Maybe he's just got some swag.
That flow.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Have you been to Post Falls?
Yeah, I've been. I don't know if I've done a show there, but I've been there.
Yeah.
Definitely been there. I've been all over Idaho, man. It's don't tread on me country.
You like it up there?
It's all right. It's I do well with comedy. I don't necessarily Love Idaho, but I do well with audiences I don't like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, or audience, not that I don't like, or just audiences that they're not my favorite people. Like, I wish I was one of those people that was like, man, I love my fans. Just whatever audience I end up doing well with, I wish I just loved them, and I do for the night. I do for the night, and we get drunk and we have a good time. But
then afterwards, you're like.
But then afterwards, I'm like,
I
the people who I like don't like me.
Yeah, comedy's fucking weird, dude. Casey and I did Spokane last weekend together, and even like Harlan Williams, he's been in the game for like, what, 30 years or whatever?
Yeah, at least.
And seeing his audience, like, it just was such a strange combination of people, because like these people are introduced to this guy young in his career, and then over time they get older, but then there's newer people to pick up and shit. It's just a strange thing to have an actual like living, growing audience for what you're doing.
Yeah, well, he has different things too that he's doing. He's in movies, and he's got fans that aren't necessarily fans, right? They're like, oh, they see him at the comedy club, they see him on a poster, they see him on a Facebook post or something, and they go, oh, that's the guy from Half Baked, or that's the guy from Rocket Man or whatever. I remember that when I was a kid.
That movie,
Rocket
dude.
Man, remember that? As a kid, that was like the best movie. I don't remember much about it, but farting in the spacesuit was like the big,
and holding
the big joke. Yeah.
You want to hear something crazy? He told me some like I don't fanboy with fucking comics for the most part, but Harlan, like, I grew up. My brother and we watched that movie probably 30 times. And he told me, I said to him, I'm like, I love that fucking movie, dude. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I got really weird about it. And he's like, hey, you want to hear something cool? I'm like, of course. And he goes, know that scene where he's in the isolation tank and he starts singing like John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt? That wasn't in the movie. He wrote that on the spot for the movie.
Oh, cool.
The same thing with the lunar rover, where he needed the guy to call him mommy to lift it up for like the woman's. He read that fact.
I forgot
and
about
he
that.
So he rewrote a shitload of that movie, and that guy fucking rules, dude. He is so cool. I really, really enjoyed he's so like understated. You like sitting in the green room with him, you'd never guess that he's the person he is on stage. It was completely different. Yeah. It almost like threw me off a little bit, because I'm like, dude, you've been doing this for 30 plus years, and he's had like a kind of a crazy amount of sustained success. It's pretty rare to not have like this massive fuck up at that point.
Yeah, I know. He seems like a pretty normal guy, though. That's what I mean. I never worked with him. In a professional capacity, sure, but not as a comic. So I never hung out with him in the green room or anything. But I did ride with him in a car once, and he just seemed like a normal guy.
Dude, he just likes sports.
He just seems like a normal guy that just happens to be a celebrity. Like, he's in that lifestyle, but like he's like, I'm not one of these weirdos.
I had no idea how good of a comic he was. Like,
it's all crowd work too.
It's a weird, like, he has bits, but it's similar to Big J, where it's like he gets them to where he wants them to be, and then he goes into his shit, and
it seems off the cuff.
Dude, I said to him too, I was like, I always just thought he was an actor. I didn't realize he was a stand-up, and he did stand-up for like 7 years in Toronto at Yuck Yucks before moving down to LA, and like that motherfucker knew. He told me, he's like, I knew what I wanted to do before I even leave Toronto. I had a plan of what I wanted to do, and he just did it. And now he plays racquetball and roller hockey all the time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude.
That's what he wants to do
it's
all
a
day.
fucking crazy lifestyle.
And he's in some great movies.
For sure. Did you, I think this episode's going to come out before the episode that I released with Casey McLean.
Good, fuck him.
Did you hear about our blowout?
Blowout?
Yeah, our fight on the road.
Your fight? Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
I heard all about it, dude. I heard I heard that he tried to steal your bed, dude. That's what I heard. Casey told me the whole story. He said I tried to steal his bed and he wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
He said, no, that's not what he said. He said he was just fucking with you and he thought that he was serious.
Oh, dude, I do want to say, anybody watching this that's going to go watch that episode, we had like the full conversation about it the next day on the podcast. And it got like super intense for a minute. And at one point I was like, dude, I was ready to beat the shit out of you. Like, cause I didn't know Casey. I didn't know I was in the woods.
Luckily we're sharing a bed.
Yeah.
Tonight. So
That's
we don't have
fine.
to worry about it. There's no fight at all. We have to actually come together. We have to be bonded close before we get there.
I would have been fine. Like, oh God. That whole situation was so ridiculous. But for anybody that's going to watch that episode next, this is a nice teaser that Casey and I are cool. We're fine. But there was a moment there where it got pretty fucking real.
Casey's a cunt.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
I think you can hit Auburn here, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't tell you that earlier, but yeah, we should probably hit Auburn. It's a bit faster.
I thought you meant Casey being a cunt.
No, I'm totally serious about that. I meant it. He knows it.
No, but you could have told me that before the trip.
Oh, I could have.
No, that was the best part of the podcast. I was like, "You're an asshole," and he goes, "I know."
He likes it.
Yeah, it is who he is for sure. But I wanted to ask you. You went down to Austin recently, right?
Yeah.
How we doing on sound?
We're good on sound. I was gonna put it off my lap here because I'm kind of like.
Yeah, it's getting
slipping.
toasty.
Oh. No, it's just slipping.
Are they?
Austin was cool, man. I did a couple. It's still recording. Did a couple things down there. Sorry. He's very particular, Adam Tiller. Oh, you're gonna want to get off of this exit.
The warehouse or?
Yeah, you want to Wirehouser.
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 Yeah,
Austin
I'm always
cool.
like anal about this because if it fucks up in the middle, we can't use it at all.
Oh, okay.
So that's there. Is
There
that
we go.
okay there?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Is it touching your leg too much?
No, it's not touching my leg too much. It's the cable was like wrapped around. It was just like, you know what? Give me a break here. I'm fat. That's what I'm trying to say.
If we crash, can you imagine what your wife would say? I mean, I just met her, but the video of this, like say, something bad happened. There's going to be 4K video of you and I arguing about the Zoom
at the
recorder.
People will laugh. They would laugh at the funeral.
Wait, look at this stupid guy on the motorcycle that's wobbling down.
He's going to crash. What an idiot.
Yeah, what a dumbass. Why would somebody do something so unsafe? Every episode I do in the car.
Anyways, fix the camera and let's make sure you're holding your mic.
Every episode I do in the car, there's always like when we do the reels or whatever, there's somebody that chimes in and is like, this looks really, really unsafe. Why are they doing this? This is so unsafe.
Find out more if you subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll tell you why we did it. We'll tell you how we did it.
Dude, car podcasts rule.
Yeah.
We're just going to be, we would be doing a podcast whether or not we have it on.
Yeah, this is by far the most convenient and laziest way to podcast too,
For
by the
sure.
way. It's like, oh, we don't have time for a pod. Let's just do it while we're doing something else.
Yeah.
Like we can't do this doing anything else. We can't, like, there's nothing. I mean,
it's just dead time.
Oh, I have to
we're
cut the grass. You want to come over while I cut the grass and do a podcast with me? So,
but you end up basically doing one anytime another comic calls you.
yeah.
Like,
So you're talking, you're bullshitting, you're telling funny stories and talking shit about somebody
might
you
as
guys
well
know.
just record this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, here's
Well,
a
yeah.
question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think AIDS is still a big deal?
Do I think it's? I mean, to some people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what's like 2% of the population? I think it's a pretty big deal.
But
no, they have the medicine now.
Getting AIDS though.
They have the medicine though.
Okay, because I'm just like, because Quinn doesn't. Like, Quinn has been.
He has AIDS?
No.
Oh.
But I'm worried he's gonna get it, based off of some of the
You have
activities.
you have a lot of sex?
Dude, he's a coxman in training. Quinn has been doing better, especially on the road, than ever before. He's reaching new limits, and the problem is he's not safe.
Uh-oh. Quinn, put on a condom, Quinn.
I mean, dude,
Or
dangerous,
stay out of the butt.
high-risk sexual activity And we were talking the other day. I'm like, hey man, like do what you want. I know you're like 23 or whatever, but like you don't want like if you could go to like talk to yourself 20 years from now or whatever, if this happened, like you don't want to get AIDS. Like that wouldn't be something that like 45-year-old Quinn would be like, yeah, I'm really glad I got AIDS in my 20s.
Don't you think though, if Quinn got AIDS right now, he's better off in comedy than he would if he didn't have AIDS?
Sure.
Maybe that's what he wants, Adam.
It probably
you know
is,
what?
to be honest.
Maybe you shouldn't be forcing your ideas on people. Maybe
my crazy ideology on not getting AIDS.
He can be like that guy from Seattle who got cancer, and then he got terminal cancer, and then he went on Ellen, saying he never got to record his comedy special. Then Ellen produced his comedy special on HBO or something like that.
And she yelled at all the people that were on the production crew.
Yeah, she said, "Give me a pussy to munch," and then I like Ellen, dude.
Yeah,
I don't care if she's an asshole. I like her. She runs a good show. Tight ship.
Wouldn't be
Yeah,
the
tight
first
ship, tight
person
lips,
in entertainment that's an asshole. God damn.
I think she run a great show. Anyways, so he goes on this show, and then HBO gives him a special, and then he doesn't die.
The AIDS special.
No,
like,
it wasn't AIDS. It was something else. It was like some kind of terminal
I
cancer.
thought you meant Quinn.
No, this really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it?
His name's Quincy Jones.
Really?
Yeah, not to be confused with Quinton Jones.
Isn't there a Quincy Jones that's like a musician too?
Yes. That's why it took me a second to remember the name.
Was it a white person?
No.
Okay.
I bet you can guess.
That would be an aggressive name to a white guy named Quincy Jones.
I mean, John Quincy Adams.
Mm-hmm. Completely different name.
That was a president. His middle name was Quincy?
Yeah. But that was
Oh, named after the
CY.
musician?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see what you're saying.
Okay. I did want to ask about the Mothership. You went down there?
Mothership. Oh, yeah, Austin. I
Yeah.
did the open mic at Mothership. I was supposed to do roast battle there because they had a weekly roast battle there with Adam Lucky.
Yeah.
And I guess the week before I got there...
Shout out to Adam, by the way.
Yes,
That
thank
dude's-
you, Adam, for everything.
If you're not following Adam online, you should be. Dude is doing a shitload of stuff down in Austin.
And he's got titties now, and it's just nice. He's funny, and he's got
Do I
titties.
want Auburn? Or
No, you want to go straight. You want to
Okay.
go straight.
Yeah,
He's killing it. He's...
Yeah, and
he was hosting
was
roast
like,
battle down there for Comedy Central,
Really?
like their official, it's like their official brand. It's Roast Battle Austin. They have a few cities, and Austin's one of them. And he was doing the weekly roast, at Mothership, and then Mothership pulled the weekly show. It's just the monthly show now, which I think is done with the regular host of Roast Battle. I forget his name. God dang it! Why am I forgetting his name? So we did it. We ended up doing it at Creek in the Cave on Friday, and. I bombed hard.
Yeah.
Me and the other guy roasted. I know him too, and I want to apologize. I already apologized to Adam because I fucking didn't. I thought they were gonna be funny jokes, and then they didn't laugh much, and then it just sucked. It was so bad, and then the judges were like, "Yo, both of you sucked. No one won." Tony Casillas and another person, I think maybe Adam Lucky, both gave the DJ the win because the DJ made a couple sound effects that were funnier than our jokes.
Who was the guy that you were roasting?
Maverick McWilliams from Oklahoma City.
Maverick McWilliams?
Yeah.
That's a crazy name.
Yeah.
Huh.
But we didn't get it done. So that sucked. But the rest of the weekend was pretty good. Did some shows and got some laughs, and then did the open mic at Mothership on Sunday. And that was cool. I had a good set. They do like a lottery poll for the open mic, but a few people get on based on who they know or whatever.
Yeah.
They handpick up a couple people, and Adam got me the spot.
Shout out.
Yes, thank you, Adam. And so I got to do a spot in front of the booker, Adam Egan. I did well, but nothing special. I think I did my 3 minutes, good, and closed out the mic. And it was a weird environment though, because they draw the names and then they post a list outside, and there's a line to get in just already because it's all the shows are sold out. And then all the comics go up and see if their name's up on the list. And if it isn't, they go to the next mic. If it is, then they stay and they got to wait, get in line, get checked, IDs, patted down, all that. Then they go into Mitzi's, the bar. It's like a little lounge next door. And we wait in there until it's our turn to go. And they take you up into the little boy room, like 5 or 10 at a time. because it's crowded in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're done with your set, you have to leave the building.
Huh.
Yeah, because it's sold out, and they don't want open micers just hanging out. Like, because Austin's full of it's a ton of them, and so when your set's done, you got to go.
Did you like the Mothership?
It was cool. I got to stay. Because I know people there.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of employees there and stuff, and so I got to stay and hang out and watch the next show, which was cool. And it was a fun room. It's set up really nice. The sound's really nice. The way the crowd's laid out is nice. And it's Austin crowds. They're good crowds. The staff seemed like they were doing a great job. It was cool. I mean, the only thing that's kind of stinks is that it wasn't like a hangout spot. Like when you say how was this club, like part of how it is like how's the hang. Like I like Creek in the Cave in Austin because the hang is amazing.
Yeah.
You go outside, you can hang out on the porch. The bar's open out there. It's easy to get stage time. The crowds are all right. They're not terrible. It's a fun time, but Mothership was just, great crowds, great service and stuff, but just not a great hang. But it's also, I've also heard, I have friends that work there as comics, and like when you're actually on the shows, the hang is a lot different.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm
you know
sure
what I mean?
it's.
This is coming from like an open mic perspective. It's not as cool, but comedy's, I mean, it's not supposed to be cool when you're open micing. It's just, you're just getting your shit done, figuring out what you're doing and figuring out who you are and stuff. So
how long was it for you till you actually started like regularly? Because you're a full-time road comic now.
Yeah.
How long did it take till you were doing that?
Maybe, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. I wasn't really trying to get out there all the time either. I was in the Army. I started comedy. I was in the Army still for 2 years. I did comedy and the Army for 2 years.
Here?
Yeah, active duty Army.
Really?
Yeah, I would get up at 4 in the morning, 4 or 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes a little earlier if we had a range day or something, if we had to go shoot. But yeah, I had to be at work. I was a squad leader, so I had to be there before everybody else. I had to be there before all my guys. And so I had to be at work at 5:45 or 6 o'clock in the morning every day. And so I'd go to like open mics in Seattle, do my 3 minutes, get home at like midnight, wake up 4.5, 5 hours later, and then go run 5 miles or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, you were a lot skinnier then.
I was not just skinny, I had muscles.
Yeah.
I tried to lift an ice machine the other day with somebody at work, and my bicep hurts right now. Like 2 days ago, I tried to lift an ice machine, and my leg kind of hurts too from it. I'm so
how old
out of
are you
shape.
now?
33.
Yeah, dude, I'm 34. I just turned 34, and it's like, it starts getting bad. like certain things.
I forgot. You forget is the thing. I still feel like a young man. Dude, I feel like, not feel like, because I do feel kind of fat, but like in my mind, I still feel like that 23-year-old Army Ranger, and nothing can fucking beat me. And then an ice machine takes out my right arm for a week.
It also fucks you up because like you're around younger people constantly in
all
comedy.
The time. Yeah.
So like if I'm around people that are actually my age that have their life together, I'm like, these people fucking suck, dude. They're so boring. Like they're like,
You get to my house and my grass is like 4 feet high. You're like, oh, this is okay.
I'm more comfortable in that than like going to like fucking brunch in Seattle with people that I know that like live there. It's that whole normal people. It freaks me out. Like I get really uncomfortable when I'm around people that are like have normal, stable lives now. I've been hanging out with just pieces of shit too much.
Do you often feel like you're the best person in the room because you're sober?
No.
I bet you do.
You
fucking piece of shit. You fucking judgmental, pretentious prick. This is where that Party City joke started. I had this Party City joke about it being next to a Ross. Yeah, because it's next to a Marshall's.
Oh,
and the joke used to be Marshall's. I was driving to Spokane and I was like, Party City, that'd be a great place to buy drugs or buy coke, whatever. You just come out and, hey, you like to party? And me and the other comic in the car laughed our asses off, and we started making a bunch of jokes. And I was like, I love how it's next to Marshall's, like the place where you shouldn't buy drugs because the zipper on the bag won't work or whatever. And so that's where that joke came from. And now everywhere I go, like any city, I'll Google it. I'll Google Party City, like on the maps, and then I'll Google Ross or Marshall's, and it's always right there.
Right next to it.
It's always
Was
the
it
same.
that specific one?
That specific one.
That's fucking tight.
That one right there. And now I do Ross because I guess more people get the Ross reference than the Marshall's reference. But
yeah. Marshall's isn't as common. So you were doing stand-up for 2 years in the Army
still.
and then what ended up happening?
I got out of the Army. They gave me the option to get out. They were doing drawdowns, and they said, hey, if my time to re-enlist came up, and they gave me a recruiter orders. Actually, I was gonna be a recruiter, and this is actually it's kind of a long story, but it's interesting. The way they do recruiting is they have like their units. They're done by regions, and the regions are mapped out by population sizes. So the Northwest region, for instance, would be like all of Washington, northern Idaho, part of western Montana, and then like northern Oregon. Like that whole area is one region.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get assigned to one region to be a recruiter, and you can go to any recruiting station in that region. You don't get to choose. You can try.
They just put you?
You can try to request, but where they need you is where they need you. I can go like, hey, I know a guy at this office in Seattle. He wants me. We're friends. And then go, that's great, but they're at capacity, and we need somebody in fucking Post Falls or whatever.
Post Falls, whatever.
And so I was like, I was kind of worried. I was like, I was doing comedy, and I wanted to keep doing it, and you get to choose your region because I was assigned to it, so I got to choose my region, but that's all I got to choose. And there are two regions, they're called battalions, but there are two regions that the whole region is just one city. And that's because the populations are so large, and that's Los Angeles and New York.
Mm-hmm.
So Los Angeles and New York City, if I get assigned to that, I will be in that city. San Diego is an option too, but that was like, it covers like all of southeastern California and western Arizona and southern Nevada, and I'm like, I don't want to be fucking stuck in El Centro, California, in the fucking desert, dude, like on the fucking border, and I gotta learn Spanish to fucking recruit these Mexican kids to promise them citizenship that they're not gonna get for 4 years because the fucking military sucks. All right, so I don't want to do that, so I go fucking New York. I'll do New York, I guess, because that's the best option. I could do comedy there, yada yada yada, and I got signed to the Bronx. I was supposed to be a recruiter in the Bronx, and
how did I not know this at all?
I don't know. But my wife said no. She said she insists she did not want to go. We had a new baby at the time. Our daughter was 2 or 1.5, 2 years old, and she's like, I don't want to bring a baby to New York and live in the Bronx. Like, we don't have to live in the Bronx. We can live in like Mount Vernon. It's like a 20-minute train ride, whatever. It's not a big deal. Like, I want to do comedy, blah 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 blah. She didn't want to go. She was scared of New York City.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified of it.
Rightfully so. Too.
Didn't want to go. Yeah, sure.
Especially with a baby.
Yeah, did not want to go. Like, wow, what do you want to raise a baby in the Bronx? In the Bronx? Bronx, baby? Yes, so we didn't, I signed a statement. It's called a declination statement. It means I decline these orders. I refuse to do it. And if you refuse to do something, then you can't re-enlist. It doesn't mean you're kicked out. It just means you can't re-enlist. You forfeit your right to re-enlist. So that's what I did. I forfeited my right to re-enlist, and they said, hey, we're trying to get rid of people, yada, yada, yada. You don't have to, but if you want to go, you can go. And I said, yeah, I want to go. And they gave me a severance check, said goodbye, thank you for your service, see you later. And that's when I got out. And then I stayed in Tacoma, and then started doing comedy. I wasn't doing comedy full time, so I had to make money. I had to make money for the family, and so I started selling cars for a little bit. I wasn't very good at it. It's terrible at it, actually. I worked at UPS for a while. I was like doing importing. All day I would just like look at spreadsheets and move numbers from one side to another. I was one young man in an office full of old ladies in Auburn. And it was just, dude, it sucked. And so then I got a job as a door guy at TCC, Tacoma Comedy Club. Bo Drogman, shout out Bo Drogman to get me the job. And then eventually I worked my way from there. I worked my way up. I was working at UPS still, and the owner of the club, Adam Norwest, called me and he goes, hey, how you liking the UPS job? I go, it's pretty good. It's not what I want, but I want to be a driver someday. He goes, oh, that's what you want to do. You want to be a driver? I go, yeah, I want to be a driver. They make good money. They have good benefits. It's hard to get that job, and it's a safe job. I want it, and a good union and all that. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, never mind then. And I said, well, what do you mean never mind then? And he goes, it's nothing. I go, you got something? You got an opportunity? He goes, it's dumb. It's not like that. It's not. I'm like, well, what is it? And he goes, well, you said you want to be a driver. I said, I want to be a comedian. And he goes, oh, okay, that's what I wanted to hear. I need an assistant. I'm firing my assistant. And then I became his assistant, and that was probably, I don't know, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
5, 6 years ago.
And now you're...
that's what I do now. And then we had 2 clubs back then. There was Tacoma and Spokane, and now I've helped them. Well, not really. I don't really help much with that, but now since I've been working there, we're opening our 8th club this year.
Damn. And you're mainly doing booking?
Not really. I do a lot of things, but I do a lot of booking, yeah. That teaser, that might be changing. But we'll talk off air. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of like administrative stuff, marketing stuff, behind the scenes thing. I take care of comedians. It's called advancing. I get them their ground transportation, and I get all the phone numbers to everybody and hotels to everybody, and I get their riders taken care of and stuff like that.
Can I ask a question though? Just like, I think, because there's a lot of comics that watch this and listen, and like one of the big question marks for any comic is like sort of, how do I get in with a club? And you've been helpful to a lot of people in that way. Like, what advice do you have for a comedian that's trying to get in at a club as to like what to do and what not to do?
What to do and what not to do. That's a good question. I will say, I don't know if this is cover both bases here, but you don't want to kiss ass, but you do want to be respectful and polite, and you want to be around. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I if I didn't work somewhere, like Laughs is a good example. Laughs never asked me to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Laughs wasn't, they weren't booking me. I didn't ask them either, but I wasn't there. So why would they book me? They don't even know who I am. Like they got a lot of things going on. They got all these comics, and it's not. And comics always just focus on me, and them and me. But like they have fucking like cooks to worry about. They have a fucking rent to worry about. They got a Coke machine. They got that's fucking not working. They got the fucking plumbing's fucked up from the bat. Like there's shit going on all the time. As a business owner, that you're not, as a comic, we're not thinking about. Like their mind's not on us. Just be around, dude. Be helpful. That's what I say. Be around, be helpful, and don't expect too much. Just be a nice person. It's like the pay it forward type of thing. It's not going to guarantee you spots or nothing, but there are comics that get time sometimes, and you see them. We all have seen them. We all have complained about them, or we have said something like, "Oh, how come this person gets to do time there? They suck at comedy." Well, because they're fucking nice people, and I found 5 minutes for them. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Hey, scratch you're fucking nice. Scratch your backpack." It's like it's a nice thing to be nice, and people are nice back, and that's a huge thing for me. Is just hang out, be cool, be nice. Don't tell us how to do our job. Don't. Those are don'ts. Don't go around and tell me how I'm supposed to be doing things and then expect me to book you, because you're really fucking annoying, dude. I don't. Don't kiss ass. Everyone can see through it. I hate that. I have so many fake friends, dude. Like. Text me like, oh hey, I don't know if you have anything in June. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, I hope you're doing all right. Hey, thanks, man. Hit me with my email, dude. Why do you have my phone number? But I think that's the biggest thing. Is I'm just rambling at this point, but
no, I'm just quiet because there's a lot of, it's murky, there's a lot of people that they want to make that impact and like actually get the ball rolling, but they don't know how. And I think
just being around is the biggest thing. And there's a thing
I would that's how I got any stage time to begin with. It was like there were no mics on Friday and Saturday nights in Seattle, and somebody mentioned, hey, if you go over to this club, like sometimes they throw people up, and it was like, hey, I can get on stage.
If you're just hanging out, yeah.
That was literally the only reason why I was there, was just like I didn't know. It was at Laughs when I started. Like Jesse Warren, Mike DeVore, Nikita was around at the time, but there was a big kind of shift of Eric Lundquist had just left, Wilfred had just left. Like there was a kind of a gap in terms of who the talent was around at the time that was getting up regularly, and they needed a host. So it was like, yeah, I got to do 5 minutes and like learn how to host shows, and it was terrible. Like the amount of
they give you a good environment to grow, though. And also, here's the thing about doing that, going to laughs, or same in Tacoma, TCC, is if you get to go to the shows and that you win for free, and you might not get on stage, it's a professional comedian. It's a professional show.
You would
and you
pay
get to watch
see it. Like that.
Yes.
That's the thing that
you get to watch that and you get to learn. Like, I don't know how these comics think that they're gonna be good or think they are good, and they don't watch comedy. They don't watch anyone. And they're like, oh, that's not my style. Yeah, so?
Who cares?
Fucking Mateo Lane's not my style, but I still really like watching him.
Yeah.
Fucking Bernie Mac's not my style. I loved watching him. Like, it's...
I was...
Larry the Cable Guy's not my style, and I don't like watching him. I don't like it, Adam. I would, though. I would watch it. I'd watch
Larry
I'd watch
with you.
it live, because I have to see it live, but...
No, I was at Spokane, like, last weekend, and I was sitting there, I text the girl I'm seeing, just like, I can't believe I get to do this. I even told my mom, I'm like, I'm getting paid to do this. It's so crazy, because these are shows that I would actually have paid money to do. And I think if you're like a hardcore fan of stand-up, and then the more I do it, especially quitting my job and shit, I've just gotten way more into stand-up. Like, it's become way more fun again, because there was so much of like a time crunch when I was like, I mean, you just mentioned it, when you were in the Army and doing stand-up, like, you just don't have that much bandwidth to like fuck around, and it's been really nice to just sort of like really have a lot of fun with stand-up as a fan and doing it, you know. It's the best. Yeah, man.
That's why I don't understand why people don't go watch a show. I mean, if you're not on a show, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you at home? Are you fucking...
Do the spot and then go to the club. Like, I don't...
Yeah, go to the club, watch the end of the show, have a drink, or maybe you don't drink, or just... I don't know. I think the hang to me is the huge thing. And people will say this. You'll hear people around town or whatever. They'll say, oh, he only books his friends. He only books people in his clique. And that's because they see people hanging out. And they're not my friends, and they're not my clique. They just hang out.
Yeah.
And I like them, and I think they're funny. And even if they're not the funniest on stage, if they make me fucking laugh off stage a lot, and I fucking like being around them, I'm like, you're gonna figure it out. Maybe you don't have it yet, but if I fucking put you up 4 times in one weekend with a comedian, with a headliner that is gonna crush regardless of how you do, then you're gonna get better, because you're obviously funny. And that's what that is. That's not even cliquey shit. It's just, I don't have a clique. I don't have a friend. I have Narn Van. I kick it with Shad Foster quite a bit, and Luke Severide's a friend.
Yeah.
Dude, my close friends are not fucking open micers. I mean, Shad, I guess, is a close friend and kind of an open micer, but like the people that are saying like, oh, this booker, they're friends and blah blah blah. No. If it was only my friends, then Luke wouldn't be complaining to me that I didn't book him enough time to feature this year, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's true of any booker, I think. Almost any book. I mean, at booking at a club or like a bigger venue, like how Corey books the Everett Theater, and like Corey, it's not Corey's clique, is fucking Andrew and a couple people that probably aren't even comedians. Like, the groups and the friends change, and people just have a weird perspective. They don't see it. They see the people hanging out, after the open mic, chopping it up with me, the booker, or somebody else, David Angela or whatever at lab. They see that as like, oh, they're kissing ass and they're picking favorites. Those are their buddies. No, they're not my buddies. They're just fun people, you know?
Yeah. And you're
be a
just
fun person.
I mean, that's the job.
If you're not going to be a fun person, you have to be undeniably funny on stage. You have to make me fucking laugh my fucking ass off and wonder, where did you go? Why did you? Dang, that sucks they left.
Yeah.
Not upset they left, but dang, that sucks. That's how funny you have to be. Like, legit. If you're not going to hang at all and be friendly and be fun, then you have to be undeniably the funniest person in the room.
It's weird. I've tried to like sort of figure it out myself, where I have social anxiety, and there are just times where like I'll be around a group of people and I get this kind of like panicking feeling, and
really,
yeah, it's been really challenging, like throughout stand-up, just to like deal with it. And I figured out, like,
are you panicking right now? Is that why you slowed down and got behind that truck for some reason? I didn't want to ask because we were talking, but I was like, what is he doing? What are you doing? You going off the bridge, dude? Oh, no.
It just takes over sometimes. Yeah, it's... So, like, everybody's version of that's
My
different.
friend has social anxiety. He's anxious in social situations. Some construction workers. They probably feel the same way.
Yeah, that's why they're out in the fucking woods. Yeah, but everybody's version of that's different. Like, it doesn't have to be like, because I was like, oh, if I'm not getting fucked up, everybody's drinking. Like, how do I hang if I'm not partying? But there's a lot
That's
of like,
the thing, though. You don't have to be, and you know this now, I bet, but
Yeah.
you don't have to be drinking. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to be like drinking and
I can be better than people too because
Yeah.
I'm not drinking, right? I'm just a better human being. I'm like, all the rough sets guys, they tell me how much better I am as a human being, as a person. I'm going 90s.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they're all fucking trash over there.
Yeah.
Oh, over at the Fitz-Carlton.
Fitz-Carlton.
Shout out Zach Summerfield, Willie Dean, Logan Cantrell, James Fitz something. It's like it's not Fitzsimmons or Fitzgerald. It's like
Fitzmaurice.
Fitzmaurice.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's coming on. I think the episode before or after this.
That's his laugh. I love, dude. The first time he laughed at something, I thought he was fucking with me. I thought
Dude,
he
he sounds
I was like,
like
you
the
being a
guy-
smart ass right now, dude. You fucking with me?
He sounds like the guy from Waterboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The coach, right?
No,
No.
the like
fan.
defensive linebacker or whatever, the big guy.
Oh, the cross-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I did the episode title.
Yeah, he's in what's that fucking God damn it, Little Nicky.
He's in
Little
all of
Nicky,
that.
too.
Yeah. So, dude, the episode title of this is Army Vet, and I did want to ask you some questions about just like
Okay.
being in the Army. And if there's anything that you can't talk about or don't want to, that's fine. But like, I don't know shit about the Army, what it's like being in it. I've had a couple Navy guys come on here, but like, where were you? Where were you stationed? Just want to see how long. We're at 42. Yeah, what was that experience like?
I was all over, man. I was stationed in Washington at Fort Lewis with 2nd Ranger Battalion for a long time, and then I got kicked out of the Ranger Regiment for a DUI. I blew a .08.
Oh,
And
that's not bad.
Yeah, blew a
It's like
.08.
right on the cusp.
Yeah, and then I didn't get charged with it. I got charged with something lesser, but they took my tan beret and sent me on my way anyway. But
Your what?
tan beret. We wear berets in the Army,
Oh, okay.
and the tan color one is for the Rangers.
I thought you said tambourine.
It's
like,
my
why
tambourine.
did you
yeah.
have a tambourine?
I was the tambourine guy. Every Ranger unit has a tambourine guy.
Yeah.
And I was
Especially
just,
when he's driving drunk.
Yeah.
Driving
and,
buzzed.
They said
It
you can't
wasn't-
have your
it wasn't
tambourine
drunk
anymore,
driving.
pal. You've done too much. So no, they took my tan beret and they sent me to the regular Army unit, and I went down to Fort Bliss, Texas. It's El Paso. It's in the middle of El Paso, and I lived in El Paso for a couple years, deployed out of there, and then came back after my 3rd deployment. I came back and got a request to come back to Fort Lewis, and then finish my career here because my wife's from here. So
Gotcha. But where were you
yeah.
deployed?
Afghanistan 3 times, all over Afghanistan, except for northern Afghanistan. Never the northern Afghanistan, but southern Afghanistan, southwestern, eastern Afghanistan in the mountains, caves and shit like that.
What was that like?
It's honestly really boring. A lot of it's really boring, and then there's some exciting nights and exciting days, and then the rest of it's really boring. It's a lot of sitting around, a lot of planning. Your mission plans kind of are the same. My first two deployments, I wasn't a mission planner. I was just one of the guys. I was a radio operator, and so I just did my job, and I didn't have to make the plan. So it's kind of boring, and just go on the missions, and I report everything on the radio. And my first mission, actually, I failed my role in the mission because I'm the RTO, and I'm with the platoon leader, and I had to call up all the stuff to the Tactical Operations Center, let them know what's going on. Luckily, as a Ranger, we have an ISR feed, which is like there's a AC-130. It's a gunship with a bunch of 100mm guns on it, and it flies 30,000 feet above the ground, so no one can see it or hear it, but it has a camera on us at all times.
Really?
And and then if something happens, if a target leaves the objective and they start running away, we call them squirters.
That thing's in Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
The AC-130?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's AC-130 gunship.
Because can't you like call in gunfire from that in Call of Duty?
Yeah, we call
Most of my Army knowledge is Call of Duty.
That would typically not be what I would do on the ground, because there's a fire support officer, FSO. It's a different guy who talks to them. I'm on the radio. I'm on a couple different radio nets. I'm on like our local net. I'm on the battalion net or company net, and then the fire support officer. He's talking to the birds. He's talking to the mortarmans. Everybody. He's talking to, if he needs to talk to somebody, there's like F-15 sometimes, talks to them, call them in. The A-10, sometimes you have to call those people in. That's a scary plane. But yeah, so we always see everything, but I have to call it in anyway, just to let them know what's going on the ground. They can see us, but they don't know what's going on until I tell them. And so first mission, we come on these Chinooks. They're like the double propeller helicopters.
And where the ass opens up.
We all sit on the ground. We all sit nut to butt like this, in each other's nuts. And we fly to our mission, and then usually most missions we land, we all get up, we get out, and then we walk to our objective, and we sneak up on somebody. This is Ranger missions. We'd sneak up on somebody, go to their house or wherever or their compound, and then we wake them up and take them. That's it.
By take them,
arrest them, I guess would be the polite word for it.
Yeah.
And if they fight, then we take them a different way. Either way, they're coming with us.
Mm-hmm.
And my first mission, it was not like that. It was a mission called On the X. You're landing on the X, which means you're landing on the objective. So they land, and we have to get off. We have to run off and go fight. So like they hear us coming. They hear the helicopters coming. That's what it means. So it's a little more dangerous. So that was our first mission, and I'm in the front of the plane, the front of the helicopter. So I'm one of the last people to get off because I'm with the platoon leader, and I have this big antenna on my pack. It's a UHF antenna, so a satellite antenna, and it's like mounted. It's mounted on there, and we get out the bird, and then the gunshots are immediately, and so you hear the whack, whack, like the fucking whack of the bullet rounds going above you, and then our guys are shooting, and so I have to get off the bird, and I have to call it in. I have to go, hey, infill complete, troops in contact. And I come off the bird, and my antenna hits the top of the ramp door.
Yeah.
And it broke off.
Fuck.
And it's just dragging behind me on the cable. And I didn't even know. I was trying to call it in, and it wouldn't work. I'm like pressing my button, it wouldn't work. I'm like, what the fuck? And the fire support officer is right next to me, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And he goes, call it in. And I go, I can't. My fucking antenna. And he goes, it's gone. And I go, what? He goes, it's fucking gone. Meanwhile, there's fucking rounds going up our head, and we're like hiding behind a wall, and he helped me get my other antenna. I have a backup.
Yeah.
I always have a backup. He helped me get my backup out, set it up, and then he called it in for me. He switched his net on his radio. He had that net programmed, and he switched it over.
Just made me think of, have you ever been to like a basketball game and the guy walks around with like hoop the backboard above his head and you shoot the shot? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
though.
it's like the peanut guy.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's me with a big antenna.
But like you can, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the best part about it is that you like it pops out too. It's an X-wing.
Yeah.
But it folds in, and then when you get down, you have to go like this. You have to pop it out, and then I went to do that. It was gone.
It's like Boba Fett's thing.
Yes. Like when he shoots the missile, it's like that. Yeah, dude. And so it popped up, and he helped me. And then I had to go find that. It's like a $2,500, $3,000 antenna that I'm gonna be responsible for. He helped me find it. He called in troops in contact for me. Contact stopped pretty quickly. We have a lot of guns. They stopped, gave up, and we completed the mission. But it was just so I wasn't like that. My first mission, I was taking contact, and I couldn't even shoot. My hands weren't even on my gun. It was slung across my chest, and I'm like fucking with antennas as I'm running. No gun, like
God damn.
like and so that was what that's an exciting mission, right? And that was my first mission, and then probably for like a week or 2 weeks, nothing. We'd go on missions, and we'd just go somewhere, and we'd wake somebody up, take them, question them, find see if it's the right person, bring them back.
What's the objective most of the time? like, what are the missions? What are you trying to accomplish, man? Like,
War is crazy. There's so many different. It depends on who you are, what you're doing, what your unit is.
Yeah.
And what time of the war it is. At that time, my units were being used for high value targets and quick reaction force, QRF. So we'd have guys that were on standby. That's all they do sometimes, would just be on standby for other units on their missions. They'd be on a mission, they have something going on, like we don't have anything going on that's really pressing, and so another unit would be like, all right, we have this battle. A good example would be the Battle of Marja. I was involved in the Battle of Marja, 2000, my back, I think like 10 or 11. I'm always bad with these dates, but during the Battle of Marja, a bunch of Marine units were going through this town, the city of Marja in southwestern Afghanistan, and during the day they would fight, they'd move forward, they'd get intel, and then with that intel at night, we would go in and capture these targets, capture the high value targets, and then they'd move in more, and then
did you guys have like night vision and shit?
Yeah.
Was it tight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, my first job was fixing night vision goggles.
Really?
Yeah, and then because my mom wouldn't let me be infantry, so I had to do something, and it was fixing night vision goggles.
Did you do the like weird thing from like Silence of the Lambs where you just walked around and like?
No, no, but
just at night fucking with your buddies. No. There's no way if I had night vision goggles, I would sneak up on people constantly.
I mean, no, it was a regular part of our life. Like that's what we did as Rangers. We were out at night every night. Every fucking night. I got used to looking through night vision goggles.
What was like? Did you guys sneak vices at all? Like, were there?
No.
There was no kind
sometimes.
Like, because you have to fucking break up the monotony. And
let me finish the other part before I forget. So they were going through the town, and we'd go in at night, and then like every once in a while, if there wasn't like a target for us to go after, we'd just be waiting around for the Marines to get in trouble. Not to talk shit. It's just. Shit happens, you know.
Yeah.
And so we wait around, and if they call in, if they needed 45 guys to come and just fucking
get in trouble, like need help.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like them fuck up.
No, I meant like them getting like just needing help, like they're bogged down or something. They need 45 guys and a fucking and a Black Hawk to come in and just wreck the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's who you call.
Yeah.
So that was kind of that job, and just different times you do different jobs, but for the most part it was high value target acquisitions. And then when I left the Ranger unit and went to the regular unit, it was a way different mission. It was more patrols. We're going around, we're searching for intel, and then it was supposed to be near the end of the war. It wasn't, but we were working with the Afghan forces and teaching them how to do their thing, and then helping them with them, like they were hunting down people, and we'd do stuff like that with them, and then we did a stupid mission, dude. It's a dumb mission. All we did was go to villages and like fingerprint people and just add them to a fucking registry.
Yeah. Boring as shit.
So boring. Yeah.
What did you guys do to like make it fun? Like you had to have like been fucking around.
Like, we're always fucking around.
Not
we're
like gambling or drinking. Or like
play
women
spades.
Shit like
yeah, play some spades and no drinking. No, Australians or British guys would be around sometimes, and they had some booze, and maybe Sergeant Firestine snuck a little sip, but no booze, nothing like that. A lot of cards, a lot of video games, PlayStation or Xbox, the gym, all the gym. Yeah, I was ripped. I had nothing to do, and
pre-workout, all that shit.
Oh yeah, all of it. Pre-workout, creatine, fucking. I did steroids at one point.
Did they have it on base, like all the workout shit?
Yeah, they actually banned one of them a while. But remember Jack 3D?
Yeah, dude, it ripped, dude.
Dude, Jack 3D used to rip. Dude. Some people died.
Oh yeah.
Some people died, and the army was like, dude, nobody can have this anymore.
Yeah.
You guys can't.
I used to take 3 scoops of that before playing basketball.
That's why. Oh my God. See, that's why people get fucked up, is they do it wrong.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be like 1 scoop or whatever. And
dude, it was legitimate amphetamines.
This lady, was it?
Yeah. It was like dimethyl something. Jesse Warren used to take it, and he'd literally squat and get hard at the gym. Like, he would squat with a full fucking erection, which goes to show you just like how weird that guy is.
That's weird. Jesse, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody was complaining. He looks good.
Yeah, but he's getting older. He's
getting
concerned
older.
He is getting older. That hair isn't looking as great. All right, where are we at on time? Let me see.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I asked you to bring on a story of the episode, and then we probably should wrap at that point.
Okay.
Whatever you want. Let's kick it into our story time.
Story time.
It's story time. It's story time with Adam. Yeah, it's story time. It's story time with Adam and friends.
Yeah, story about the army, huh? How about the time that somebody took pictures of my butthole?
This better be just the start of a clip for us right here.
We get back from Afghanistan, my last trip, and it's maybe a week. We're home maybe a week. We haven't gone on leave yet, and I'm hanging out in our ready room cleaning guns and stuff. And somebody comes down and goes, "Hey, Sergeant Firestine, there's some investigators upstairs in First Sergeant's office. They need to talk to you." And a week back from Afghanistan, an investigator wants to talk to me in my boss's office. I'm like, oh shit.
It's not a good thing.
Do they know what I did? Do they find out? What did I do?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Sometimes it was a little foggy. What happened? Who did I fucking smoke that I wasn't supposed to, you know? And so I get up in the office, and this guy, he's sitting there across the table, and he pushes a manila folder across the table and says, "Is this you?" And I open it up at the first picture. Boom, picture of my butthole right there, dude. Just right on the hole. I'm in the shower, and my leg's up. I don't know if you wash your... I talked to somebody about this the other day, but they don't wash their butt like this. I put my leg up. When I wash my butt so I can get a nice open... I want to open the crack. I got a big butt. What's up, ladies? I got a big butt, and I got to open it, and I got to scrub it in. I go up and down, back and forth, both sides. I do everything. And anyways, I'm doing that, and then he gets a nice, as it's being rinsed, couple little bubbles on my butthole, gets a nice little picture of it right there. And then there was a few more pictures. It was just so jarring to be like, first picture is my butthole. Like,
well, you don't see it that often, too.
I don't see it. I'm like, I don't know. This is mine. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been down there recently. I mean, you tell me. Fucking take a look, dude.
Yeah.
You want to see? And they're like, oh, sorry, it's that wasn't supposed to be the first one. There's I'm like, well, you were fucking shuffling through them earlier, like you were having a good time looking at these. And there were some other ones with my face, and just tattoos. They wanted me to identify and verify that it was me, and get a statement from me and stuff. And apparently, this guy it wasn't just me. I wish it was just somebody with a crush. It wasn't. It was this guy had built a whole hard drive full of photos and little videos he had taken of people, men and women, in the restrooms over in Afghanistan. And he'd gotten like underneath the shower curtains and stuff with his camera. And yeah, so they were building a case. And then the investigators left. They took the photos with them, by the way, which I thought you could give these to me. I mean, it is my intellectual property, technically.
Yeah. It's your likeness.
But they had more people to show it to. They had to be like, here, judge, here, lawyer, here, fucking random person on the street, here, Josh's subordinates
also,
downstairs.
What do you think of this? Like, do you
hey,
like it?
Yeah. They take it, makes copies, takes it home. And then I never found out what happened. I don't know if he's in prison. I don't know. I do like to think that he's in prison, though. I like to think he's in prison, and I like to think he's just sitting there by himself, thinking about how nice my butthole used to look, Dude,
that like hidden camera thing, it's some kind of mental illness, right? Because there was a guy...
Oh, and it's way more prevalent than you think.
Dude, there was a guy from my old job where this girl was walking in. It was like, start time at like 5:30 in the morning. So like early in the morning, there were these... Like, it was a long walk into the office. and this girl's walking. She kind of hears a noise, and some guy is like behind her on the steps and like leaning forward, and she didn't feel good about it, and she noticed like his hand. He was like, he had his phone. She was wearing a skirt. He was getting an angle on it and taking video up her skirt. Yeah, at like 5:30 in the morning on the way into work.
What the?
So they ended up reporting. I think he got fired, but I don't know if he kept the video or whatever. But like, out of control.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, I think he might have been in the Army though before that.
Oh man, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know this guy. I mean, that's not the same guy, dude. This guy was a pro.
Yeah.
This guy was a pro.
Had all the angles.
I don't know how he got caught either. I wish I did. I wish I should make up a story about how he got caught, about how like maybe I caught. No, not me. I don't want to be a hero. Somebody caught him. Somebody caught him and beat him up. That's what happened. Somebody caught him and they beat him up, and they took his camera and they said, "Woo! Look at this butthole right here. This is Sergeant Firestine. I know that butthole anywhere, man."
Oh man, is that technically a peeper?
It's a peeper creeper.
Yeah, it's something.
It's something. It's definitely a sneak peeker.
Of all the stories that you were gonna bring on, I had no idea what you would bring.
Paparazzi peeper.
Yeah,
Paparazzi peeper. That's the story. It's not a very long story.
No,
I just thought it was kind of I thought it was kind of a funny story, but
yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on. Where can people find your stuff? Like, you already did one episode like early on, you and Narin, but like your album's on iTunes.
My album's on iTunes. It's called Needless to Say. It's not very good. It's not very good. I might take it down off iTunes soon. If you do buy it, listen to it once and then get rid of it, because what happens is it ends up being on your fucking iPhone, and then every time you get in the car, it plays first. I have friends that they fucking, I don't know why they're still friends with me. I'm like, delete it. Like, nah, I won't delete it off my phone. I'm gonna support you. I'm like, you already bought it. You can delete it off the phone.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to my stupid voice.
And it just starts immediately.
My bad
when they
recording.
Get in the car.
I did it all myself, so it's kind of not a great quality album either. But I got a special. I'm recording a special in July.
Oh shit.
And it's gonna be called American. So look out for that at the end of the year on YouTube. And then Roastbusters podcast is coming back.
Oh, is it?
This summer. Yeah, this summer it's coming back. We're gonna do video, and we're excited about that. And Instagram, Josh _ Firestine, and Josh _ Firestine everywhere else. So
cool. And then Narin is doing Roastbusters with you?
yeah, Narin Van and me doing Roastbusters
cool.
again.
Check out Narin Van on Instagram, YouTube, where he's got everything up. But
Narin
dude,
Van,
thanks for
2
coming
N's.
on.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
This is
it.
a lot of fun. I'm kind of in the car with you. I had no choice.
Yeah, it's a good time though.
I thought I had a burp coming.
Thanks everybody for watching us on YouTube, and then if you're just listening, make sure to rate and review us wherever you are listening. If you are watching us on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, notifications bell so you don't miss our upcoming content. And then we are on Patreon, patreon.com/FNFpod. We are on Instagram too. I'm trying to remember all this shit, but at FNFpod on Instagram. Josh, thanks for coming on. We're going to leave you guys with Jaga.
I just make the waves, I don't write them. I can hear the lyrics in my spirit as I write them. Why you wanna walk and talk just like them? I can't get caught up in all the hype and the excitement. I just make the waves, I don't write them. I can hear the lyrics in my spirit as I write them. Why you wanna walk and talk just like them? I can't get caught up in all the hype and the excitement. My wave pool, my wave pool. Welcome to my wave pool, my wave pool. Welcome to my wave pool, my wave pool.